welcome to a new episode of the Gist and Info Nollywood production. Okay, so we are always hearing about someone, I guess, being intimidated by someone else on a repeated basis, aka bullying. Bullying. So I know we have bullying here in America, but we also have bullying back home. I didn't grow up back home. So do any of you, who here grew up back home?
I didn't grow up back home, but I spent some time there.
Were you bullied?
I was not bullied, fortunately.
Were you the bullier?
I was never a bullier.
Did you experience bullying?
I've been in situations where I've had friends or siblings being bullied, and I've had to
Explain.
Well, pretty much here in the U.S. or back in Africa?
Either one. Bullying is bullying,
I would say
right?
that here in the U.S., being in school, elementary school was really when I saw it. Elementary school, middle school, had a lot of friends, skinny minis, maybe not so. They have an undeveloped, let's just use the word undeveloped.
Underdeveloped.
Brace face, which is harsh, but that's what, some people were called sometimes. And I've seen them bullied. And what I've noticed, a difference that I noticed here between America and Africa is that here, okay, it's like you're bullied and the child, if you're a child, you'll run to an older sibling or older cousin or older relative that you have in school. In Africa, it's different. You have tough skin. If someone's bullying you in Africa, it's like, I'm slow. and then you have braces or just, yes, I'm slow. But here it's just like, they don't have that tough skin.
Right. Okay, well,
is it the time or is it the era that we're in now? Because I'm an 80s baby, so I know that, a lot of the times that some of this bullying that's going on this day and age,
it's very different.
They're touchy, it's sensitive.
Right.
People want to jump in and stop. When before you fought all day, you went back home. After you came home from school, you fought the next day, you were friends.
But I think there's a fine line. We're speaking of being bullied, where someone is constantly being harassed by an individual or group of people to the point that they feel like they don't want to exist anymore.
Right.
That's a different level versus these tit-tat fights that we have, disagreements, you fight in the yard, and then you get sent to the principal's office, things like that. Like everyone else has said, I didn't grow up at home like that, but I never experienced anything that I would remotely consider to be bullying like I see here. Even in my days of being in middle school or high school, I can't really say that I saw bullying the way it's like in your face right now, where kids are actually intentionally planning to sabotage or really hurt someone to the point that they take their lives. That's different because you had cliques, and you still have cliques now, but the cliques were usually just, if you're the in crowd, the not in crowd, the band crowd.
Okay, well, hold on, pause.
Crowd.
I'm sorry, I just want to pause. I want to expand because now we're talking about here. That's what happens here. But then I'm told that bullying is not just back home. Bullying isn't just among students. I'm told your cousins will bully you. Your parents will bully you. Like, they'll bully you. An example, someone was saying they'll bully you into getting married. Like, why aren't you married yet? Abusive, where you're hearing it all the time to a point where maybe you now feel like committing suicide, So I think...
No, not to be funny, but usually what happens is you just find the next person, you get married, and then you're not bullied anymore. If that's the kind of pressure you need, I don't know why. If you're not ready, don't be bullied.
That's an example.
But
that's just an example.
The difference is people that experience bullying in the sense that it takes them to that level, normally it's when it's overwhelming. It becomes a lot. It's too much for them to bear. They probably already have insecurities and things about themselves that they don't like, they're not comfortable about. Now this is like added pressure.
Right.
Well, I just want to address the bully. Why even bully? Why?
Lack of self-esteem.
Like she said.
I think people are hurt. I think they're hurt. They're insecure.
Insecurity. I think that's the number one thing, is that someone who feels like they have to bully someone else, they're insecure. Point blank, period.
And you're projecting.
Yeah, trying to be popular, trying to be with the in crowd.
And you're projecting hurt onto the other person. So now as somebody now I want to ask the question. Is it the bullier's fault or the person who's being bullied?
It's definitely the person who's being bullied. Absolutely the person that's
I think it's kind of different at home because just like you said, when you're at home and they're insulting you, I think it makes you a little bit stronger. You come to this, is that all you have to say? Okay, let me give you something back. Like, I think when you're being bullied, especially when you're saying you're getting these insults from home, from your cousin, it's going to depend on the strength of that person, how much you can take. So I think, like we said, a lot of people are getting more sensitive. They're sensitive these days. They can only take so much, but there's some people who can take it and keep moving.
So do you think that bullying affects people emotionally? Because you can
Definitely.
now put on this.
Absolutely.
You can now put on this thick skin and say, "Oh, okay, so you said my neck is small. Okay, so what? But then after a while, them dealing with that, does that desensitize them? Like, well, I'm just gonna turn off my emotions.
It's an individual thing, like, I mean, if we all really sat here long enough, we probably can think of a time where something was being said to us about us that we maybe really didn't like, but our individual personalities determine how we deal with it.
But
Like,
was it on a repeated basis?
but even if it was, like, for me,
When were you
I
bullied?
should.
When did they bully
I can't really name. I mean, you don't want to bully me.
Okay.
I'm not that girl. I'm the protector of the bullier.
Okay.
I was that girl in my neighborhood, and my brother would be the first to say it. I mean, if something was going down, or if I saw anyone in my neighborhood actually being abused or bullied, whether it was by a boyfriend, somebody that didn't like them,
What if it was
I
your
took it on.
auntie? Your auntie.
My auntie.
Your auntie. What if it was your auntie bullying somebody?
In
Then
what way?
would you say?
But that's my thing. In what way is my
The
auntie
house girl.
bullying?
What if she's always bullying the house girl?
I can see. I think
It
from
depends
an
on how it's done. Like,
I think in the
I would
African
step in. Like, if I felt like I would maybe
But
say,
you were
"Look,
condoning
Auntie,
it.
I mean, you're very hard on her and things like that." But once
on.
again, do I consider that bullying
know
or
what?
correcting someone when they're not doing something they're supposed to be? Like
I'm
back home,
tase
we
you.
stole.
I'm trying to give you the signal.
I'm just
trying to give you the signal.
I mean, I got
She getting emotional. This is the advocate for bullies right here. Go on. What did you want to say?
I think that in the sense of Africans, when it comes to, someone mentioned earlier, African parents, especially African moms and African aunties, bullying their daughters, pressuring their daughters. You know what? You need to get married. Oh, my daughter, you're not pretty. You need, sometimes it can come off as bullying. The individual can take that as bullying. And it's so common within the African community, like coming from your mother or your auntie. You know what? Bleaching. That's a number one thing. I remember I had an auntie tell me, I was just in Nigeria in December, and I had an auntie tell me, "You are too dark. If you bleach, if you lighten your skin a little bit more, maybe more guys would be attracted to you."
Nonsense.
Exactly. But the type of person I am, I have tough skin, and it went in one ear and out the other. I looked at her as she was crazy and went on about my business.
But you only heard that one time, though.
Well, I've heard that specific thing about, yes, that was one time, but
That is amazing
there's a
to me and absolutely
situation,
ridiculous.
there's situations in where people hear that on a regular basis, and everybody won't take it the way I take it. Some people might take it as being bullied.
Okay, so at the end of the
I
day,
feel you.
bullying is abuse.
It
Right.
is.
It is abuse.
Yes.
Whether it be verbal, physical.
Physical,
I think
emotional.
these days we have cyberbullying. They're going online. When I was in school, it wasn't all of this,
I'm just saying.
online bullying, but they're going on bullying each other
I'm
online.
pained. No, I'm so pained. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
How do you get bullied online?
something you can turn off.
That's a
Online.
good
How do you
question.
get bullied online? Somebody's on a computer typing to you.
I feel like
How? I think it's insecurities.
that's insecurity, definitely.
I think bulliers have to take responsibility themselves, but I think also at the same time, if you're being bullied, you have to take responsibility.
So
for
we just
yourself.
said
Right.
now on national
Right.
TV that some parents bully their children because they say to them, "Why aren't you married?" And
No, they
I
say
don't-
to
I
them
don't
every
dark.
day.
I think
until
like
the point
when
where
it's
it
to the point where
emotionally
they're
affects
they're
them.
picking.
stop bullying.
nitpicking.
Stop bullying.
I think it's to the point where the parent is nitpicking. Not only is it your parent, it's your aunties, your uncles. It's these family members that they just won't stop.
Yeah.
So
I
in
feel like
Africa,
that's part.
adults can bully also.
I feel like they do it without.
But are
knowing,
they
without
looking
knowledge
at it
of
like they're bullying, or is it coming from a place
feel like-
of
Good
care?
question.
Is it coming from? Because you have to understand, the African mindset is very different from here. So once
Abuse.
again,
We just
I keep
accept-
saying,
we accept
bullying
abuse.
here and bullying there.
It's
Granted,
different.
it could be similar in certain situations when it comes to you're looking at levels of like school kids. But now we're talking about parents and adults bullying because it's a repeated thing. If you were to say it to them, they probably don't look at it like they're bullying. They're looking at it like you're getting older, I want you to settle down. Look at all your friends are settling down. So that repeatedness of it coming from there, I don't really think it's from a place of trying to bully you.
If they're always
It's
telling
just in
you
them.
you are fat, you're not fat. You look good, girl. You look good. If they're always telling you you are fat,
You need to lose weight
you
and
need to
slim down
lose
so
weight.
that more
Maybe
guys
somebody
will
that's
marry you.
abuse. That's
that's
verbal
why I said
abuse.
exactly.
Yes, that would be
Bullying-
considered.
Yes.
a form of bullying. Yes, I agree with that.
And you know what? Adults get bullied too. Adults get bullied on the job.
But do you guys
People
realize?
get bullied because of their sexual orientation.
True.
Absolutely.
People get bullied,
That's
so
big.
it's not just in a school environment. It's not just in a
But
family
do you
environment.
guys realize that Africans are probably one of the most? Oh, let me scale back.
Scale back,
Nigerians
girl.
are probably one of the most honest people when it comes to saying what's in
Out
their
their
mind, out of their mouth. So
The
if they
mind
say,
mouthing.
what's going on? You need to put on some weight.
Yeah.
It's nothing for like.
But if the person doesn't
You
need to
need
put
to-
on weight, they don't want to keep hearing that repeatedly.
If they feel they don't need to,
Seriously.
and you're right, but that to me is a cultural thing that's been different. Like you go home, typically I hear this amongst friends. I'm going home. I either need to lose weight, I need to put on some weight because they're about what's happening to you? Look at your collarbone. Look at this.
Unfortunate,
Like,
how
is
unfortunate.
that is so common that it's like a norm, even if it's not right. But
Right.
it's what's done. It's like
so we should
I believe
accept
that.
abuse
Yeah.
no, I'm not
because
saying it
it's
should be accepted.
cultural.
It's almost like the same thing with. I mean, this is taking it off scale a little bit. You'll be a doctor. You'll be a doctor. You'll be a lawyer. You'll be a lawyer. You know, you'll be this. You'll be. No, you can't do this. You know, it's that same.
Right.
It's a constant grinding and like this is an expectation, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you how it is.
Well, you know what? Again, I think that the person being bullied needs to take more responsibility and stop making it seem like, oh, I'm always being bullied, because at the end of the day,
But how does a person being bullied who really is innocent in the situation take responsibility? What are they supposed to do? Other than
why don't you
report?
fight for
Especially
yourself?
No, because
Especially
when they
when it's
do
a
report
small
it,
child.
they're
Stand
gonna
up
say,
for
"Oh,
yourself."
you
But
can't
like
take
she
that."
said-
Especially if it's a small child
How
who's
do they
very
do that?
insecure and they're just completely broken down. How do they stick up? How do they stand up for themselves?
It's called
They feel
self.
that's what's building them up.
No, it's
For
called
someone.
self-confidence. People only bully people that they know are not going to stick up for themselves. Some, like you said, somebody like you, somebody like me, for where? On which side of town? We
It would
can't
never
get bullied.
happen.
You know what I'm saying? We can't get bullied. But for those people that are always timid and that are always quiet. Now, even if it's your parents, let's say if it's your parents, still speak up for yourself.
have to
You know
speak
what,
up.
So
Mom?
what suggestions do we have for people who maybe didn't grow up with those levels of, people instilling strength and, strong
Look in the
They need,
mirror.
they need to speak up for themselves. They need to confide in someone. If you
and
feel
they've
like you
done
can't
it,
go to
but
your
it's still
parents-
being done. They're still being bullied on a regular. What do you do?
It's a lie. You didn't look in the mirror. You didn't look in the mirror and build up your self-confidence. And a bully approached you, and you went toe-to-toe, head-to-toe with that bully. Even if you have to fight that bully and I'm not
That's
saying
the
condone,
culture.
but even if you have to stick up for yourself for the next 2 weeks straight, eventually that person's going to get tired and know that, okay, let me
Maybe I
go find
should've
somebody
Even
else.
if it takes
Right.
longer,
Okay.
even if it takes them 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you have to be consistent with it. Continue to stick up for yourself until they get the point. Like, hey, you know what? This person's not having it. Let me move on.
Suicide.
Right.
Like,
Well,
here,
Either way,
I-
everybody wants their child to grow up strong and be able to handle different situations. So you want your child to experience certain things. I know I do. When you have your child, any case, it could be even with school. Every Nigerian child remembers their parents saying, "Oh, you came home with B's. You can't get A. You can't get 4.0. What is this 3.0?" Anything that goes on, the parents want you to do better. So I'm going to look at it in the fact that let's build this child up. Not to say just bully this person,
Right.
but let's build the character up. Let's let them
So what if
experience it.
so what if okay, so let's leap to the other side. What if we're not talking about parents? What if we're talking about adults being
Just adults
bullied?
in general.
Just adults in general.
Well, I think it stems from the same place. If you're being bullied and it's allowed to happen consistently and you can't get it under control, it probably comes from a deeper place of your upbringing of not having those self-confidence or morals instilled that allow you to know that it doesn't matter what someone says, you are who you are beautiful, you're whatever. And so you're able to go, blinders, I don't even see you because you're ignorant. And, because that adult is that same child, just now older. And so,
Well, you know what?
Haven't you met people that are older that you go, they're just not that confident about that? I had a friend once actually that was like, I'm telling you, this girl was gorgeous and everything, but she just lacked just no confidence.
Okay,
It
you know
allowed
what?
people to run over her.
And in
It's
all
true.
fairness, but see, I guess now there are different types of bullying because we're addressing like emotional bullying, but then there's also
Physical bullying.
There's also physical
Insults.
bullying. You know what? We could talk about this all
day.
day.
But it's
I
because of
know
their
that
programs
I
in
am not
place.
to
You
be
are a
bullied.
fool.
Okay, don't bully. That's it for this segment. Please stay tuned for trending topics in Nollywood. Back with trending topics in Nollywood. So one of the trending topics right now is Kim K. I love you, Kim, but I'm tired of talking about you, girl. One of the topics is Kim K was paid $500,000 to come to Nigeria. She did a photo shoot. She talked to the audience. If I can recall correctly, she co-hosted Daly's Valentine's Day Love Like a Movie. She talked to the audience for a few minutes. She wrote out $500,000. Kim K made bam, just like that. What y'all think?
Was that it? Was that all that she did?
That was all. That was This is Kim K, girl.
Okay. She was there for less
Kim
than
K
24
pregnant.
hours.
Okay.
Got $500,000.
Okay.
So she basically hosted. Is basically
She didn't host anything. She whispered into the mic.
She made an appearance.
Right.
Let's say she made an appearance.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump out there. What's the problem?
I don't have a problem with it.
I guess the problem for some people is, like, if I wanted to play devil's advocate, I could be like, wow, there was nobody else that you could, like, there was no beautiful African actress or personality that you could have given that money to. I don't know if it should become a racial thing, but it's like, again, what is it that Kim K does?
Well, okay, and that's a very
What
good
is it
question.
that she
and
does?
I agree with you.
Social life.
But here's my thing, okay? Somebody decided that they wanted Kim K to come now.
Okay.
Somebody decided to sign on that dotted line that they were going to pay her that money.
Agreed.
Clearly, they knew what they wanted her to come and do. She was pregnant. She came and did what they wanted her to do because they felt that she was going to bring a following. So if they're that dumb to pay that kind of money for that time frame, that's on them.
Did you hear that?
My thing is, look,
Dumb.
Kim, I'm with you. I don't really know what you do. You got a reality TV show. You got your perfume line, which I love. I love it. I own it. I'm not a hater. Love you, but I'm trying to figure out what that kind of money, like, what was done. Did she talk to, like, what was the conversation about? Was it something nonprofit? Or was it just
It was at a
appearance?
concert.
Okay,
it was
so
at
it was
a
an appearance.
concert. Yes.
Yeah.
It was an
And
appearance.
she's a celebrity in the U.S. now, and
She
so
is.
she's
International.
entitled to be paid that kind of money.
Right.
She is
When you're at a
entitled.
certain
And so-
level, you can command.
I mean,
certain
more power
amount.
to you, girl. You made your fame. You are who you are. People want you, but you hope she does some good with whatever. You know,
I don't think
that's all I really care about.
Yeah, I don't think Kim K she's not to blame, like you said. Someone wanted her.
Somebody wanted her.
They
paid that
Are
out.
we blaming Kim K? I'm
No, we're
confused.
not. But you know what? A lot of people in the media, a lot of people were upset about it. A lot of
Like,
people.
why did she have to go?
A lot of people said the same thing. You know, why couldn't you pick an African actress, someone right here that you can pay less to the same thing that she did? But at the end of the day, they don't
So
have that
now-
reign and that fame that Kim K has.
And somebody
was
felt
hot
that
right
she
now.
was going to be
So
good
they
for
was
whatever
hot.
it is that
I
they
love
were
you,
doing.
Kim, but why? Why are you hot?
hot.
I think it's a reflection of people's mentalities these
Ask
days.
any man, I'm sure they'll tell you why they feel she's hot.
Oh,
She's
I've
beautiful.
Asked, I've asked
I'm
a
just
few
not
men
knocking
that
her
are not
hustle.
attracted to Kim K. So I guess to each his own. You're right. She's a hot personality right now. But then I guess now, my question is to the person who decided with all the
They
beautiful,
do.
talented
Let's come back now.
women that
In
someone
Africa,
could bring
that you could pay
even
less.
if people paid their money to see. Kim K was pregnant, so if she only came and said real quick. People paid money, like, really? You couldn't get someone that could come out and really interact with the crowd?
Interact with the crowd, entertain the
But
crowd.
you know what people paid money for? They paid money to see her.
Just
They
to
wanna
say
see
that
that
it's
girl.
It's just the
Nigeria.
name.
So
It's
I-
the brand.
so
No,
they're
I
not
don't-
Kardashians.
just to
And
say
Kim
this,
Kardashian
I don't wait a
is
minute.
the
It's
brand.
too much talking. Who's talking? Help me out.
That's
Go
really
on.
what it is. People wanted to see her. That person that decided to bring her brought her because they figure, you know what, Kim Kardashian is really hot right now. She's with Kanye. Let's bring her. And people are going to be like, oh, Kim Kardashian, let me go see. Would I have been one of those people? Probably not. But you, for some reason, the question is, the statement is, I hope you made your money. I hope it was successful for them. For whatever reason they felt that she was the person that they chose to bring.
So you know who I now blame? I've taken the blame off Kim K. I've taken the blame off the organizers. I now blame all you Africans that don't know anything about Kim K. You just pick a magazine, you just read, oh, Kim K, I want to be like Kim K. Don't get me wrong. Again, Kim Kardashian is a beautiful girl. Her work ethic, like for her to show up for appearances, she was pregnant, for her to fly across the country.
Fly across the
You know, for $500,000. You're right.
It'll be my 8th month.
Pregnant with
Ninth
7
month.
kids.
Ninth month.
On
I
that
would do the
plane.
same too.
But still, I guess for me, just like when there was that comparison with Amatola and Kim K, like,
But why?
that was another topic, girl. We're not going there right now. Right?
What is that? That's my only statement. But why?
What? You got-
Kim K, Amatola.
Okay.
Where's the comparison?
So as we were saying,
The fellas want
as
to
we
see
were
it.
saying, I guess at the end of the day, business is business
That's
for all those people that paid the money, and then but people were tweeting they were upset. They were upset
About
with
what?
her. They were upset because she didn't stay for a long time.
To
and she
do what?
only said,
But that's like here, you know, when you're hosting or you're just presenting something, you're not actually there to perform. So a lot of people get it.
She doesn't perform.
And that's my
Right.
question.
So I guess people kind of felt like she should stay, but
She was
it's
supposed to
just
be
like an artist
co-hosting.
here. If you
I'm
come
with-
and you
I'm
host,
missing out
you're
on
not
this
there.
now. Why do you guys have more expectations? Like, she's a business person. She's a personality. She doesn't sing. She doesn't dance. She hasn't written a book.
she was
that I
supposed to
know
be
of.
co-hosting.
She has a perfume, but I mean, all she can do is display it so you can buy it. But what more do you want from the girl?
I agree.
Actually, I don't.
It's her
Actually,
brand.
you know what? At this point in time, right here, right now, I don't want nothing else. Thank you so much for watching us. Please do let us know what you think at our website, www.info.nollywood. Follow us on Twitter at info.nollywood.com, and also like us on Facebook. That's it for this episode. Thank you, and we'll see you again.